Yeah. So Artemis is series of I think the Artemis is series of missions. So Artemis 2 was just a second mission in this whole kind of an series of mission that is named Artemis. And Artemis 1 was also kind of an in a similar way, but with it the Artemis 1 was just without the crew. It was similar mission which NASA launched in 2022, which did go back to the moon but without humans, and they were just testing the Orion kind of spacecraft. If you have seen the images of it, is kind of an a shuttlecock kind of an shape. If you have seen the images of the landing gear, what they talked about in the landing gear, basically when they came back to the Earth, those images, that is called the Orion, developed by NASA. So that is kind of, and they did it in 2022 regarding same time, but that was in November, and it was a longer mission. So this was the second mission, which was involving human and going back to the moon after 50 years, which was a big deal. Not because we can't go back to the moon, but if you like, because this time we are just not going back to the moon and just to know, like just to go and land there, but we are going to stay there for not just longer but ultimately forever, just exploring the space forever. And that's why this mission is the first step for that. So a couple of interesting facts. I was like, what is the reason behind the name of Artemis? What I found out is that Artemis is kind of an opposite, basically is a Greek name of a goddess name, I believe. Yep, it is a Greek name reference with twin sisters to Apollo. So it's basically is the opposite of Apollo, basically twin sisters. That's why it is matches perfectly with these missions too, because it is totally revolve around moon. And the Greek reference is that it is the goddess of moon. So ultimately, like a really good reference, I will say, right there. And the fact that the first woman was also involved, Christina, uh, in this mission too, like makes the kind of a perfect sense, perfectly, like everything was just perfect about this naming. And the crew, they were the life of this mission, like the first four humans that going to the moon after 54 years, I think, is just insane. And the crew choosing the crew was really important here. And how they are, and how they're like the amount of excitement they brought to the whole mission throughout it, the joy, the the excitement just they brought to the earth through their messages from upper space is just insane. But yeah, the whole mission was again similar to Artemis 1. Go back to the moon but not land on it, go around the far side of the moon and kind of an do a U-turn back there and just come back to the earth. That was kind of a mission. It took around 10 days, and NASA did a really good job of daily updating it, giving you a lot of information. I think if you want more updates and more, if you want to know more about it, I think I will highly recommend go check out the NASA website. They have just given out everything right there, whatever the information you need to know about it. Like their website is way well done, for a government website. But yeah, so Artemis 2, like we talk about, similar to Artemis 1. And there were a couple of things with this mission, like the studies, the how the space is going to affect humans in the whole journey is kind of a more study that NASA did this time, because it is kind of a far journey than before, like we have ever done, and the farthest than the Apollo missions too. And it is kind of a different than going to the space station that we have up, because space station is kind of an on a lower orbit. And compared to moon, if you have ever seen the images from space stations to moon, it is like far away, you can feel the moon is far away. So it is actually far away, and studying the human effects on human body, how humans sleep. Christina talked about how she slept well on space sleep, kind of, and like in the recent interviews. So that were kind of things they needed to study. There were a lot of studies, then a couple of things like the products they bought on the spacecraft. One of them was iPhone, and kind of an interesting. So I didn't know, first images when they came from the space, when they go up and the launch was successful, was the Christina one I saw, I remember, which was a window shot of the Earth where they were looking from the space, which was insane. Then I found out, like someone posted that it was kind of a shot on iPhone. Like that was just kind of insane to me, and I was like, dang, it is an insane photo footage. Oh, sorry, insane photo, because if you have seen that image, the way amount of well balanced photo it is, you would think that it, like you would not think that it was taken on an iPhone. It was that spectacular, and what that is also one of my most favorite photo from this whole mission, I will definitely say. So iPhone was there with them. Then there was a bigger camera from Nikon. They were trained to take pictures from it before going to the space, obviously. But yeah, everyone has the iPhone, I remember, as far as I know. And they just like they took photos, they took a lot of videos that we are seeing now. Like the recent one, couple of days ago, the I think Reed kind of a release on Twitter about how he took a video from space, about from the opposite side of the moon, and the Earth is on the other side, and just like zooming in with the AirTag zoom camera iPhone 17 has. So it is kind of an insane to think about, that same hardware is kind of similar kind of hardware is working on the space that you are using right now. So that was kind of an interesting, like, and I was like, I also wanted to find out that did Apple did any kind of a contract with the space NASA, where NASA paid them, oh sorry, Apple paid them to use our product. We will make it specifically for space. And because a lot of other companies I saw, like the in terms of food brand, the Nutella one was really kind of an out there, due to how, while on the mission was going on, the I was actually watching it live while the mission was going on, because we were going to the opposite side of the moon. And couple of hours before, when I was watching live, a Nutella, like kind of an just floating around this inside the space, which was kind of an hilarious. And I was like, do they have some kind of contract? Because see, I'm not gonna lie, NASA needs a lot of money to do this kind of stuff. And even though they do get a lot of money compared to other space kind of, and I will say, agencies all around the world, it still is not enough. Like sending rockets, sending humans to outer space, yeah, kind of an hard, if you get it. Not an easy task. So yeah, so NASA, I was like, even if it is a contract, I would be fine, because they need that money. But later I found out through trying to do a lot of research over there, it was not. So basically, they don't have any kind of a contract apart with the Nutella, with the iPhones, with Apple. The reason is just that the reason that NASA uses this product is just they are better. They NASA knows they can use this product. It's just accidental kind of an marketing right there. They don't plan on this kind of an marketing, and it is kind of an marketing kind of a situation where you grab the opportunity, where both of these companies, like iPhone, from when the shot from iPhone was taken, I was like, what is Apple going to respond to this? And same with the Nutella one. And both of them waited up until the mission was complete, which is good, safely landing home. And Apple kind of and did their in a own way. Tim Cook tweeted about it on his Twitter page, I think, I remember. And it says, Tim Cook says to the NASA that NASA, the astronauts, is basically, you capture the wonders of space and our planet beautifully, taking iPhone photography to new heights, and we are grateful you shared it with the world. Classic Apple, like not too much pushing towards how iPhone's photography is great, but the wording makes kind of a classic Apple marketing move, where they will not push anything, but they will use it. Nutella did the same too. They did grab the opportunity too, with a lot of marketing, heavy marketing after coming down, which are not seen too much, particularly, but one or two videos were really good from them. So, like I said, a lot of good things, like since the launch to the every day, we were seeing any kind of updates for those 10 to 10 days where journeys were really incredible. So, this was Artemis 2 mission. Now, Artemis mission does not stop just here. The next mission is Artemis 3, is to test the new landing, basically new rockets from SpaceX and Blue Origin. So basically NASA has given both Elon Musk SpaceX and Blue Origins space, basically them to both of those companies has a contract from NASA, and NASA pays them to bring this kind of an technology and develop this to develop this. So we have seen SpaceX done its own reusable rocket. Same is being done by Blue Origin. So these two are kind of a big leaks in this game right now. So what they are going to test, what NASA is going to do now is 2027. They have not discussed the dates because obvious reasons, because we don't know if these two rockets are ready or not. If they were ready, definitely they would have done and given us kind of an dates, but these are kind of an major factors here right now, because what NASA is doing right now with the help of SpaceX and Blue Origin, trying to have kind of an competition and kind of an do the best deliver what we can have right now. Now both of these companies have a different idea of how a rocket is going to land and how a rocket is there. Basically, if you have seen both of the images from Blue Origin and SpaceX, kind of a different model system they've done are trying to do, so the idea here is to use the what best is possible. So next year, probably around only this same time, we will be seeing the testing of this both of these rocket at a low orbital on Earth with the crew, and we will be testing these kind of missions on a low orbit with Artemis. Name them as the Artemis 3, and if they are both successful or both good or one of them is good, then we will be moving forward to the Artemis mission 4, that is landing on the moon and making our base. So this is, like I said, a series of events and series of missions basically from the NASA, that they are working with not just space, like these are just two private companies, but they are working with a lot of agencies all around the world, and they will be working. So yeah, going to the moon will be there in next 5 years. We might be going we might be having a base on moon in just next 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean by base, like people will be living there, those kind of fun, just like how we have here in Antarctica, just like how we have in space station. And once the moon landing is done in Artemis mission 4, then we will be having series of missions since Artemis 5, where we will build much more outpost on moons on the other side, like depending upon the better side. Right now it is on the far side they want to build. Now that is what they are going to do, build outpost, and the future far goal is to go towards Mars of NASA. That is also a goal of, we know what Elon Musk always talks about, but that is also the goal of this mission, but that goal is far ahead. Right now the recent goal is to have established a moon base with Artemis 4 landing, and after Artemis 4 is successful and landed well on the moon, the series of missions will be started, and every year, and not just one or couple of them, every year, once the landing is successful, definitely a lot of agencies will involve in it, and all around the world. Now I'm talking about space agencies. A lot of agencies will be involving and using SpaceX or Blue Origin or whichever the rocket got better, and a lot of those will be going towards moon every year by NASA, by Canada. Then there is EU with their own one, but NASA, but also China is doing with their own one too. So a lot of agencies, like I said, will be involving once the NASA moon landing is kind of an established day. Just like how kind of an NASA like whole just like how space international space station is built with the surrounding, not just by NASA but all around the world with involving agency. A lot of astronauts go there from all around the world. So like I said, it is kind of an mission that is so near to us. In next, like I said, 3 to 4 years we might be having a base on the moon. Now the far missions, like I talk about the moon, or sorry, on the Mars, is a kind of a really far-fetched goal for NASA too, because right now the major goal of NASA is just to have an establishment on the moon. Because the reason I said the far-fetched goal like Mars is so far that we don't even have a kind of a timeline. As much as Elon Musk likely says every year or every month or every even sometimes couple of days that we will be going to Mars sooner or possible, it is not sooner. Like I talk about, like in 20 years we might go definitely towards Mars. First couple of humans to do a build base. The reason I'm talking like saying 20 years is because just to go from here, from Earth to Mars, takes almost more than 6 months, and that is without humans. We don't even know how much it will take with humans. Add a couple of months. So it is kind of a really big deal going towards Mars. So it is not easy. It is not easy fit. So that is also goal of NASA, and yeah, that is kind of an overall summarization I will do of the event for Artemis 2 right now. Kind of an interesting, like every time I see any kind of updates regarding this, because Artemis 1 when it was happened I was like really excited, but the timelines when I was watching in 2022, this 2027 felt really far. If you know, and then I saw 6 months ago that yeah, NASA is ready to go to moon again. I was like again excited. So yeah. Now if you are wondering, like if you are one of those people like asking the questions about why we are going to the moon apart from just being excited and just exploration, for me it's simple. Like I am the curious person. If you say if we can build something that go to the space, yeah, why not? Even if there is no monetization goal right there. But like I said again, there are a lot of reasons we are going apart from just exploring. So to understanding the universe, to understanding just our solar system, not even universe, moon is there for billions of years around Earth. One of the planet, one of the orbit, one of the bodies on the space that is so near to us, and kind of an exploring can give us answers to a lot of things. And even to the Mars that we are talking about, see, Mars, a lot of people, scientists just believes that Mars may in the past had been the source of living, but right now it is not, due to some of the reasons that I don't know, they might know it. But also to understand overall the space and ourselves, that is the major reason too. But apart from that, NASA has clearly mentioned the economic reasons, the monetary benefits, like whatever it is, whenever they go to moon, whenever they go to Mars, is going to happen. So basically what I'm saying is that to run these missions, to run these further missions in the future, there is going to be the corporations and capitalization of this whole economy of, like we call, space economy. So there is a lot of monetary benefit. There is a reason why private companies have entered into space now. Only few of them can do it right now, but let's say in 10 to 20 years a lot of agencies will be involved, and not just SpaceX and Blue Origin. The only reason SpaceX and especially Blue Origin can do is because they are backed by billionaires. So yeah, and they are also now, like I said, SpaceX is planning towards go public is because they see the potential of what in next 10 years or 20, 15 to 20 years, that company not just will be become a company that makes rocket, but company that becomes to, let's say, go people to like a traveling space rocket for regular peoples too, like what Jeff Bezos does with his space rockets, like what he does, like send rich people who can afford to give the money to Bezos on a spacecraft and send them on low orbit. Same thing will happen when the spacecraft is made so much, so kind of an so safe, I will say, and people want to go to moon. I want to go to moon. So like I said, there is a monetary benefit. That is how economy work. That is how a lot of, whenever there is profit, there is a lot of forces being involved to make that work. That is how the corporations work. So there is, like I said, NASA has, even when you go to the website and see the benefit, like they have mentioned it, like the economic whatever the benefits is kind of a goal, one of the goals too. So yeah, not don't be surprised in next 20 years there might be a moon might be a good tourist destination, which I would love to go, definitely. So yeah, like I said, these are some of the different angles that going to the space and going to the moon are kind of and going to be a much more a big of deal, like I said, in 20 years, not now. So if you are going to be a guy, like person who wants to kind of an, let's say, build a business around space, and if you think from now and build start from now, you can gain a lot of benefit in future. There is a lot of opportunity.